We start with our red peppers, put those onto a baking tray, and then cover those liberally in some extra virgin olive oil, just to help the roasting process. Now these generally take about 15, 20, 25 minutes, give or take. Just keep checking them, and we basically want them to be nicely roasted and blackened on all sides. When they're really soft and beautifully roasted, we just remove the cores, and I like to cut open the peppers just so that they cool down a little bit easier. Open them up, and then just leave them to one side for about 30 minutes to an hour, give or take. We just want them to cool down. Once they're cool, we want to remove all of the skin, any bits of core and all of the seeds. All we want is the beautiful, sweet, delicious flesh of the peppers. This may take a little bit of time, might be fiddly, but well worth the effort. And then, I often give it a second go and just make sure you remove as much of those seeds as possible. And when you've taken your time to remove all the seeds, all of the core and all of the skin, we want to pop our peppers onto the chopping board and just hack your way through them. All you want to do is break them down a little bit just to help along with the cooking process. Then pop our roasted pepper flesh into a ramekin, pop that to one side, and now we prep the rest of the vegetables. We take our red onion, work your way through that. We want to dice it fairly fine, but again, the soup is eventually going to be blended, so you do not need to be too precious about this. Just chop your way through it, get it nice and fine. As with all of our ingredients, we want to pop those to one side in a ramekin or a bowl, ready for the cook. And once we've done this, we move on to our garlic. Now the ratio for this recipe that I generally go by is 3 or 4 red bell peppers, which will make us about 2 or 3 servings of soup. We want 2 average sized red onions, 2 or 3 cloves of garlic, and about a pint to 2 pints of the vegetable stock. But really this is the kind of recipe where there's no real set in stone recipe. You want to adjust the ratios and get it to your personal taste and experiment, as with all cooking. Next, we have our parsley. Remove it from the stalks as much as you can, and then just spend a minute finely chopping the parsley. We do want to get this about as fine as we can get it, but do be careful not to mash it up and bruise the parsley. Just take your time, get it nice and fine. So take a Dutch oven, get that to a medium heat, add some extra virgin olive oil, and we start by chucking in our diced red onion. Start to sweat it off, and then we add our garlic. Another minute or 2 of sweating that down, and we add our pepper. Season those generously with Maldon sea salt and some freshly ground black pepper, and we add a good handful of our parsley and a couple of bay leaves. Now just give that 1 or 2 minutes just to get warm and reduce down a touch, and then we add about a pint to 2 pints, give or take, of our vegetable stock, just so that it covers all of the vegetables. Leave that to simmer with a lid on for 25-30 minutes, and we finish with a nice knob of butter, a good stir, and then we blend. The best way is with an immersion blender or stick blender, and you can do that straight in the pan while it's on the heat. I often tip it to one side and get the blender right in the corner and create a bit of a vortex, and just let that blend through the whole pot of soup. It may take a few minutes, but take the time to get it nice and smooth. Give that another minute or two just to reduce down to the consistency that you want, and give it a try. And if you like it, if the seasoning is right, then you're good to go. So, red pepper soup, best enjoyed with some delicious crusty bread, some croutons. Keep your eye out for a video coming where I'm going to show you how to make beautiful croutons. And we serve. Roasted red pepper soup, an absolute classic. And guys, if you enjoyed the video, as ever, give it a thumbs up